All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Proud that you're interested in your local county government. I'm going to open, call this meeting to order, this December 16th, 2024 meeting, and ask Craig Slade if he would pray for us.
Lord God, thank you for the privilege of being here today. Father, I pray that these men will acknowledge your presence here with us. Father, they'll seek to follow your will, that we will look to conduct the county in a way that is pleasing to you, Father, that at the end of the day, we are looking out for the best interests of every citizen of our county. Thank you for giving us a place like this where we can come together as a community. We can think about the governance of our county together. Father, I pray that you would help us to be of one mind and unified, Lord, that you would be pleased with how we relate to one another. Let everything that's said and done here be in accordance with your will. Father, I thank you for the men and women who serve us so faithfully every day. They're helping us with emergency situations, with law enforcement. Father, thank you for those men and women who sacrifice every day in their families. I pray for their safety in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. All right. I don't have any list for public comments, so we'll move past that. Old business. Do I have a motion to approve the old business? We have, December the 2nd, December 9th?
I make a motion to approve December 2nd and 9th.
All right, Brad makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Has everybody had a chance to look at the consent agenda?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Scott makes a motion.
Second.
Sid seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, Ms. McNich, it is your time.
Good morning.
Morning.
And Merry Christmas in case I don't see y'all again.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Okay, item A, petitions to adjust 24 homestead exemption supplemental roll.
Motion approved.
Brad makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Sid seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item B, petitions for change of assessment on 24 real property assessments.
Motion.
Scott makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Sid seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And then the next item, we're asking for the authority to void 23 and 24 tax sale and refund any tax sale purchaser for PIN 49364. Request that a corrected tax statement for 22 and 23 be generated to the by the tax collector's office, and it was improperly conveyed.
Motion approved.
Second.
Brad makes a motion to approve. Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Last item, we're asking for the authority to request a corrected tax statement for 24 be generated by the tax collector's office for PIN 19369. This parcel was deleted in error.
Motion.
Scott makes a motion
Second.
to approve. Brad seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mike Harrison, road manager. Driver.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've got a request approval of Star Water Utility Company, lay a water line along, county roads.
Make a motion.
Second.
Sid make a motion. I believe that would be a motion to approve. Brad seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Got a request from, Windstream Utility Permit, lay a fiber optic down Clear Branch Road.
Motion.
Second.
Scott makes a motion, yes, did you make it?
Sid did.
Sid made the motion, Scott second the
Yes.
motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
C, I've got a Comcast utility permit to be installed on Bethel Church Road, District 3, Ironwood Place.
Motion approved.
Brad makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
D, request a Central Electric permit, fiber cable along Langford Drive.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got it.
Brad seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
That's the fastest Mike's ever been up there and left.
We'll see how quick we can get Mr. Parker running on out.
Morning.
Good morning.
The first item we have is on our Cleary Road, 049 overlay project. That's an LPA project. We're requesting authority to authorize and direct the board president to sign the MDOT memorandum of agreement. That's the standard MOA for LPA projects.
Motion?
Second.
Sid makes a motion. Scott seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item 2 is on the 2023 Willowbrook drainage improvements. We're recommending approval of change order number 1, which is a summary change order for an increase of $3,926.82, and approval of payout number 3, which is the final payout from CLR Construction Group, Inc., in the amount of $8,868.15, and authority to issue that check. That wraps up that project.
Where's that Willowbrook?
And that's in Castle Woods, and
Castlewood, okay.
the increase, if you remember, when the project was basically substantially complete, the homeowner decided that he was gonna do some work in his backyard and broke an inlet, and it was about $6,000 worth of work. So the project actually underran just a shade, but we added that to the project because the contractor repaired that for us. So that's what the increase is for, so we'll get that information to Mr. Slay to recoup. We may have already got it to you, I'm not sure.
So we are,
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Scott makes a motion to approve.
Second?
Sid seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Item C, Mr. President, is one of our ARPA projects. It's program element 1.21, that's Holcomb Branch at Deer Valley. That project's been substantially complete for a while. We're waiting on a little bit of erosion. Had a little bit of erosion, had to come back and repair some erosion control. So we're recommending approval of summary change order number 2, which is a summary. And there is no increase in cost. All the costs are fine. We were, because of the days ran over, we're changing the days and adjusting the quantities to final quantities. But we're also recommending approval of payout number 4, which is the final payout from Southeastern Pipeline Environmental in the amount of $5,300 and authority to issue that check.
I rode out there, they completely threw everything now, I think, got all, everything looked like they had everything, erosion. Yeah, I make a motion.
All right. Sid makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Jay seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Item D, Mr. President, is hydrologic restoration at Melamie. This is also an ARPA project, program element 4.09. We're recommending approval of payout number 2 from 2B Dirt and Contracting LLC in the amount of $139,142.70 and authority to issue that check.
I make a motion to approve.
second.
Brad seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item E, Mr. President, is Indian Creek Bank Restoration. That's also an ARPA project, program element 1.03. We're recommending approval of payout number 1 from Hemp Hill Construction Company, Inc. in the amount of $238,460.14 and authority to issue the check.
Motion approved.
Second.
Brad makes a motion to approve. Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Item F is on the Gunner Road Improvement Project, Phase 2. We're recommending approval of payout number 8, Hemp Hill, in the amount of $302,532.29, and authority to issue the check.
Make a motion.
Sid makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Jay seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Item G is an ARPA bridge project, element 1.61, White Road. We're recommending final payment in the amount of $654,007.66 under purchase order number 242446 to Hemphill Construction Company, Inc., and authority to issue the check.
Have a motion.
Make a motion.
Sid makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Jay seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
Item H, Mr. President, is also an ARPA bridge right adjacent to the previous one. It's element 1.62 on White Road. We're recommending final payment in the amount of $661,600.03 under purchase order 242449 to Hemphill Construction Company, Inc., and authority to issue that check.
That's a lot of work going on down
Make a motion.
Well, Sid made a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jay seconds that motion. Any other discussion?
there. Are we gonna ever finish up down there?
Yeah, we about to wrap it up. Got all the bridges in good shape on White Road.
New roads,
Lot of roads, yeah.
Roads.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item I
Lot of work.
is on Fallen Oak Phase 5. We're recommending approval of that preliminary plat. That's a District 4 development. There was a rezoning on that at the last meeting, so we're ready to move forward. They've got the preliminary plat. They're ready to move to construction drawings, so we're recommending approval of the preliminary plat.
All right, I'll make the motion to
Se-
approve it.
Second.
Brad seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Morning, gentlemen. It looks like items A through G under my section are to set public hearings for the same day, January 6th at 9 a.m. If I could get a motion on A through G.
Can you, before we do that, can you give me, just clarify on what A is supposed to be? Is that something we do every year?
Yes, sir, it is. That
Okay.
is our annual responsibility. We have two documents at least that are referred to as stormwater management. One is our plan, one is a program. One is more DEQ oriented and the other one is you guys. This is the DEQ one.
Okay.
The one that we don't generally do anything with other than afford a public hearing for anybody to make any comments on it before we essentially roll it over to the next year. And that is something that is addressed primarily by the Office of Community Development.
Okay.
But we do this every year, Brad.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve A through G.
Second.
All right, Brad makes a motion to approve A through J. Scott seconds that
G.
motion. A through G.
Yeah. For January the 6th.
Scott, second that motion.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mr. President, item H under my section is a public hearing on the Albert McCoy conditional use permit request at 204 Pilgrim Rest Drive. It's a District 4 property. Going to open that public hearing. Mr. McCoy is seeking a conditional use permit to mine 4 acres out of a 6-acre parcel on Pilgrim Rest Drive. Property is zoned RE1. He's planning to mine 4 acres for future development and for his family. Mr. McCray resides on and owns the adjacent properties, and the ingress and egress will actually come across his property. He has received his MDEQ 4-acre mine exempt permit. We received one concern from a neighbor regarding the maintaining the condition of the road with all the dump trucks that'll be coming in and out. Not in opposition, just concerned about the condition of the road. That public hearing is open. I'll ask if there's anyone here with us today to speak in opposition to Mr. McCray's conditional use permit request. Anyone here to speak in opposition?
Or
You'll come
concern.
forward. You'll need to give your name and address before addressing the board.
It's McCray. It's Albert McCray. How y'all doing this morning?
Fine.
Shane Burrell, 354 Pilgrim Rest Drive. I'm not here to speak in opposition of the conditional use permit.
Concern.
I'm fine with him mining, I'm a dirt contractor myself, I hope he makes $1 million off that property. My only concern, I don't know if any of you gentlemen have ever been down that road, I live at the dead end of it. Can I walk over there?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, this is Pilgrim Rest Cemetery right here. This is where Albert's house is at, and there's three other people that live at the end of the road, 4 including Mr. Albert. And I'm speaking on behalf of the Doles, the Adairs, and of course me, the Buells. This shows his ingress to mine this piece of property right here. Well, this road, two F-250s can't pass down it. I drive a 3/4 ton truck, and if I meet his wife or my wife or his wife, I have to back up to the nearest driveway or either run up on a hill if there's that much room. So a dump truck coming down through there is really gonna be catastrophic. Then it's a 90-degree turn right here, and my wife, and his daughter drive way too fast down that little bitty single road. So somebody's gonna have a wreck there. But, and if a dump truck breaks down, you can't, cause we're at the end of the road, there's no other ingress or egress for us. So my only complaint is that, he needs to do his ingress and egress right here at the cemetery. This is not really that safe of a road this way, but there's good visibility here, you can see back a decent ways, and there's several spots for somebody to get off the road and let each other pass. But once you pass the cemetery, it is not. And I spoke to Albert Friday before, he's actually, I figured he would have been here, but I spoke to him Friday, he was heading out to Columbus. But anyway, he's in the same agreement. He said, man, you know how private I am. He said, I thought that was where they were making me put my son's driveway. He's trying to build 2 house seats for his son and his daughter a house. But that's my only complaint is I would prefer dump trucks not to be coming down that pig trail that we call the road. And like I said, I live at the very dead end, and all the other parcels that are around him, we own right there. So his ingress and egress would basically be at the gate coming into my place. So,
Well,
hopefully that makes
thank
sense. I
you.
didn't talk too fast.
We have talked about it, Brian, myself, and then I talked with the road manager. And the road manager's gonna require him to take that straight shot in and out.
Okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank
Y'all have a good day.
Is there anyone else to speak on this matter?
Mr. President, I don't see anyone else here to speak on that matter. At this time, it'd be appropriate to close the public hearing, and we can take action on the request.
All right, I guess I'll make a motion to approve the road,
Coming in by the cemetery.
it's going straight in and out into the,
No construction.
The least invasive way possible.
yeah.
We have our standard list of conditions that we typically use with mining operations. Gentlemen, I will remind you, there's typically an hours of operation requirement that we include in our conditions. There's the inclusion of a responsibility on the part of the property owner and the dirt contractor to keep the public road free of debris. And that's a daily requirement. Oftentimes, you guys will restrict activity on particular days of the week. So that's not unusual or unheard of. We typically will require the 4 acres to actually be staked so that it's clear to everybody this is where the dirt is being mined from on a larger parcel. So those are the kinds of conditions that we would typically use. My assumption would be, Mr. President, that you guys want to include our, what I'll call our standard conditions, and then to reinforce on this particular one that there is one way in and one way out for this activity, and that is as depicted here, right at the gate, as described.
We may wanna inquire something about, if there's a funeral at that cemetery, that he can't be home, or, something like that.
Okay.
Put that in on the list.
Would
Okay.
the standard, would that be the one where we had the rock landing, where before you pull out on the road?
Yes, sir,
There was no clean tire?
Scott, I would say that one may not necessarily be standard.
Yes, sir.
But there are occasions where we have some sort of protection to the public right-of-way. We have included the requirement that the contractor install 610 or similar material to protect. All right, so if that's acceptable, that will be included as a condition, and I can work with Brian and Mike to make sure that the structure of the conditions for this one is exactly like you guys want it to be.
How does it entrance to the cemetery, is it,
Is it a road going by the cemetery?
Yes, sir.
No?
do
Yes,
they,
the road goes right beside the cemetery,
And that's a county road?
county road.
Okay.
But not where they're talking about mining, that's just private property.
Yeah, but coming in off of that street.
I'm just
where
not
the-
thinking,
Off Pilgrim Rest, is it a public road?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Where the single black line is?
No, that's not a public road.
That's not a public.
No.
So that road, that single line that's going by the little white box where the cemetery is, that's just a dirt road?
No, sir, it's asphalt,
Oh, the black part is right there?
yes, sir.
If you guys will look, everything inside that blue line indicates public right of way.
Yeah, but we talking where that single white, yes.
No, not that.
Oh, that's what,
Yeah.
That's to be built.
Okay.
Um,
yeah. That's
There's
what-
nothing there. No, sir, he's gonna build a.
The cemetery's to the right of that line.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there's air, yeah, it's not really good, but.
Yeah, he's just gonna build an access through there to that parcel.
Right.
Is it a setback on that from the cemetery
Cemetery
property?
is right here.
But will there be a setback?
I think he owns a property beside the
Yeah, he owns
cemetery,
all
don't he?
those.
Yeah, but I mean, instead of coming right there on the line of the cemetery and his property.
Yes, sir. We can adjust where he comes in.
Well, I mean, that's a,
What, and I need to know what kind of right of way we would,
yeah,
how much you wanna be off the property line there from the cemetery. And we can also, we'll make sure there's erosion control on that side of the property as well,
On the cemetery side?
on the cemetery side.
okay. So Craig, you can structure that and,
Yes, sir.
make it a requirement.
Yes, sir. I think the later development is really beyond the purview of
Yeah.
what we're trying to do here. We're really just talking about that block, that 6-acre block right there. And that has access, I'm assuming this is north-south orientation on this map. That northwest corner there of that 6-acre block is where he's gonna be coming in and out.
No, we're
of the
taking
dirt.
that out.
no, that's
We're
where
eliminating that.
That's
we
where
make
he
them
would
come
want
in
to
by
come.
the cemetery.
No
Ingress,
access further
egress.
than here.
I think he was already planning on exiting out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what Shane was saying, that road is so narrow, if they tried to do a dump
Okay.
truck all the way
I
to the
totally
end.
misunderstood. I was going back to
Yeah.
the previous picture where you had two black lines coming in on that northwest corner.
Well, that's where the intent was to come in with the
Okay.
empty trucks and leave out by the cemetery loaded.
Yeah, that's initially what he wanted it to be, the entrance here
Wow,
and
okay.
then exit here. But
Yeah,
like he was saying, the dump trucks won't be
He'll
able
have to
fit.
make that entrance,
A
a
little
little bit
wider.
wider,
Yes, sir.
so they can pass their dump trucks with each other.
okay, you're talking about right here.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He's gonna use that for entrance and exit both, yeah.
All right. And is it you guys understanding that you're, the person who came, Mr. Burrell, that he's comfortable with that, with conditions? Is that,
Yes.
do I understand that correctly?
He's a landowner,
Yeah,
yeah.
When I
No,
talked to
he's
him-
a homeowner that's, yeah.
Yeah, that was his wish, was to have the ingress and egress just past the cemetery.
okay.
According to what he said, the applicant is in favor of this too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't think there's gonna be heartburn.
My suggestion is gonna be that we require some sort of, indication of an easement of at least 30 feet. It may need to be wider than that, to account for the dump truck. I'm talking about.
When you're saying easement, he owns the
He owns that property.
Right, I'm suggesting that, I don't know what's going on with the cemetery parcel.
Just,
Well, they probably won't be on the cemetery, you know, we need to be off the cemetery,
Well,
yeah.
so say
that's-
50 foot, 30
that's what
foot.
Brian was saying.
Yeah.
Brian, just look at it and see what would be comfortable, reasonable.
Setback, yeah.
As far as turn radius, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, they can turn in where they mining at and get turned around.
That, we do need to include protection of Pilgrim Rest Drive in the condition. It's, the property owner needs to be responsible. If there is any damage, significant damage to the public road right-of-way, that needs to be a responsibility of the property owner to address. So we can include that. Okay?
All right. All right, make the motion that we approve it conditions that we've discussed. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Give me those.
Brad, second.
We'll woodshed it together.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next item under my section, gentlemen, is a public hearing on the Robert Foxworth conditional use permit. This is 234 Baker Lane, this is District 4 property. That public hearing is open. Mr. Foxworth is seeking a conditional use permit to relocate a tattoo studio from Builder Square to 134 Baker Lane. It's a 7.47 acre parcel, zone C2. C2 zone allows tattoo parlors as a conditional use. Mr. Foxworth was approved in May of 2022 to operate an upscale tattoo studio and an art gallery at 141 Builder Square. The studio doubles as an art gallery, showcasing personal work by local and regional artists. We've not received any calls in opposition on this matter. So at this time that public hearing is open, I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak in opposition. Mr. President, I don't see anyone here to speak in opposition on this matter. Unless the board has any need to keep it open, we're going to close the public hearing. At this time, it'll be appropriate to take action on the conditional use request.
I want to make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
At our last board meeting, item J was brought up. You guys will recall there is a proposed new roadway for development purposes that is, let's see if I can get it right. Is it Flowwood Drive, Jay? That runs from Flowwood Drive to, yeah, and it runs north through the swamp and comes out somewhere.
Spillway.
Yep, right at Spillway, right. So it's a significant project, as you guys can imagine. City of Flowwood has been actively pursuing that and engaged in it and has secured some funding for pre-construction activities. A part of the request that has come to us from the city on behalf of the city is for the county to participate because there is a portion of unincorporated county through which this proposed roadway would run. And so there's going to need to be coordination with the county in order for the project to ever come to fruition. In keeping with that, we have looked at an MOU that was provided to us. I made a few changes in the MOU that relate primarily to no clarity in the initial document as to what the county's obligation would be. And quite honestly, there was nothing in there about the city's obligation. Further conversations have taken place, and it's clear that the city's intention is to construct this road using exclusively federal or state funding. So there has been a modification to the MOU that has been presented to clarify that the county's not being asked to participate financially, but to provide its agreement that it is supportive of the project as long as it can be funded through exclusively through federal and state funding. So that is now in black and white. And so what I'm asking is, are we prepared with that understanding? Are we prepared to move forward to support the project and to execute, have the board president execute an MOU to that effect?
Yes, I think so.
Motion approved. Second.
Thank you. Jay makes a motion to approve. Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
If there's any change in what I just told you, you will be advised before we move forward. I don't anticipate that. The next item is something that will frequently pop up from time to time. We have a fireworks display that has been requested in association with New Year's. And so this is an application for us to allow and authorize a fireworks display in unincorporated Rankin County, December the 31st at 11:59 p.m. And I'm not really sure what's going on with this, but it came to our attention kind of late in the game. So we're asking you guys to allow that, to authorize that. I just need a motion to that effect.
Do you know the location?
I do not. It's, I don't.
So somewhere in Rankin, we're going to
Somewhere.
have a.
Brown, Mr. Brown.
Do we know, Mr. Brown?
266 Dominion Parkway.
Oh, Minion
That's
Lakes.
in Minion Lakes.
Yeah, all right.
Pretty sure that this is in association
You gonna
with,
have the fireworks thing up in there?
this is in association with a wedding.
Wedding.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, they're gonna pop firecrackers.
Explodes at
Brett,
no time.
Brett has been out and has looked at the location, and it is oriented far enough away from occupied dwellings that it doesn't give us any heartburn. But that's not to say that there won't be some heartburn.
Might be down there at that new house they built. Or-
Yeah, wow, okay.
Steve, you wanna limit it to, plus or minus 3 minutes?
11:59 p.m.
I assume that Brett has investigated this and,
You wanna put a deadline on it, like when they need to be done, so they just can't keep going all night?
well, 11:59 p.m.
12:10 a.m.
They're starting. Let's give them an hour. Can we put a restriction on it for an hour?
If you're gonna give them an hour, you might as well just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve,
I'd give them 10 minutes of popping, shooting firecrackers.
knowing what I know about the cost of these things, I can't imagine they're gonna need more than about 10 minutes.
But this could be left open. It says on December 31st. I don't want them doing it all the way through the new year, first, second, third.
So what do we say about, say, 12:30, and it cuts off?
Yeah.
Yeah. The display ends not later than 12:30 a.m. 1/1/25.
Yeah.
That'll be in the condition.
I don't give them a big enough window to make it all happen anyway.
Yeah. I don't want them to just have a fireworks like.
Sure, like you see
Like
on
the North-
TV
well-
in New York.
Well, no, I'm fine with it being big and pretty, but not going another day, or over the weekend, once they're approved, like others are approved for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we can state in the condition, and I don't remember who puts the conditional use permit on that together. Do you guys, if y'all are involved in that? It's probably not you guys are involved in it. I'll get with Brett, Mr. President, and we'll make sure that it's clear that this is a one-time deal.
Yeah.
That it's not permitting additional fireworks displays, that we expect all of the loud noise to end at 12:30 a.m. I think with those conditions like that, Mr. President, that'll make it clear that we want them to be respectful of the sleeping neighbors.
Can we say 30 minutes instead of, the reason I'm saying that, if they get started, say something happens, and they always do, where they can't get started till 12:10.
Yes, sir.
Then, they don't have 20 minutes. Can we just give them a 30-minute window?
Yes, sir.
Think that'd be long enough for them?
I don't know.
The application does not indicate how long the display is
Yeah, the
intended.
wind's
We'll have
blowing,
to ask
blowing
about
fumes
that.
out,
Could be raining.
Yeah, could be raining.
Oh. Yeah,
They got them little pop deals that little confetti comes out.
yeah. I would say, I'll make a
Pretty sure
motion.
the stuff they're using don't have fuses.
No.
Or they're not lighting it with a lighter,
Controlled by computer.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's plenty, yeah.
All right,
30 minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve it with the 30-minute window.
Yes, sir.
Second.
All right, I made a motion, Jay second motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item L is not something that we typically see, Mr. President, but we have one of our vendors that is a commodity bidder, the low bidder under a commodity contract for the counties. By all accounts, has done an exceptionally good job for us. Very paperwork intense organization, crosses all the Ts, dots all the Is. This is the first time we've had a request from a vendor to certify or to state in writing that we have received all of the services for which we have contracted and that we are satisfied with them, and we are issuing our statement in writing to them. Thank you for what you've done. It's not costing us anything, but it's the first time we've seen this, and so we're asking the board to allow the board president to execute a letter of completion for the commodity bid projects on stated purchase orders that are listed. There's some 4 different purchase orders. I don't have any heartburn with it. It looks like it's just buttoning up stuff, but it's not something we typically do.
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, Jay makes motion to approve, Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
I have one item of additional business to address with the board after Mr. Hicks, and then, gentlemen, we're gonna have a need for executive session, and it will be one of those executive sessions where I'm asking you to be patient with us. We have several things that we need to cover.
All right.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hicks.
Item A is approval to certify to the Department of Revenue order approving real and personal property rolls for 24.
Motion approved.
All right, Brad makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Jay seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Item B is approval of pay app number 6. This is for Southeastern Pipeline and Environmental Services on our ARPA project in Oak Grove, and it's for $407,327.73.
Motion approved.
Jay makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Another ARPA project is approval of pay app number 3 for Thornton Construction, and this is in Reservoir East, and it's for $764,497.87.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Brad seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
All right, item D is approval of pay app number 3, and this is for Fordyce Construction on the Terra Road Ditch Improvement Project for $73,766.42. Already issued check.
Motion approved.
Second.
Brad makes a motion to approve. Scott seconds that motion. Any other discussion?
Hey, is that the final payment on that?
It's
project?
not showing as the final pay app.
Okay. They completed it.
I completed it, but we still got final.
Okay.
Just paperwork.
All in favor? Motion passes.
Item E is authority for the Sheriff's Department to purchase 5 used Ford Explorers from the State of Missouri Highway Patrol. You can see the details there. It also includes authorization for 6 deputies to travel to pick up the vehicles.
Motion approved.
Jay makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Sid seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
Hewitt's out today, but we're gonna go ahead and approve or present our asphalt bids, and he'll do the rest of the bids on January the 6th. So we're asking for approval. Do y'all have this?
Yes.
Okay. So it looks like AJ Construction has all the asphalt, and Sunbelt Sealing has all the cleaning and sealing, and then Ergon has the liquid asphalt, the fog seal. And you can see the alternates recommended behind that as well, on the second page, page 2.
Motion approved.
All right, Jay makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Brad seconds that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
All right, I do have one item of additional business, if I could go through it real quick. one of the prior meetings, we talked about having JH&H contract for the courtroom redesign in the circuit courtrooms. I'm re-presenting that, asking for authority to retain JH&H to evaluate the courtrooms and redesign the 2 courtrooms.
I thought we approved that already.
I don't think we've approved it. We talked about it and said, let's look at it.
I think we're looking to get some numbers or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of you guys wanted to go look at the courtroom, so
Yeah.
we've done that.
I'll make a motion approved.
We gotta add it.
All right, I'll make a motion to add.
Circuit court judges talked to me about it at lunch.
Okay.
Friday? Yeah, Friday, yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to make sure they're included in the conversation. Absolutely.
I made the motion to add.
Were they aware of it, Scott?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
check.
All right,
That's
Brad
the
makes
right
a
question.
motion to add this to the agenda.
That was the right question, by the way.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Sid seconds that motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's added. Now, we need to make a motion to approve it.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Jay makes a motion.
Second.
Sid seconds a motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
And we have a couple items for personnel and executive.
I make a motion, discuss the need for.
We got one more.
One other matter, additional business, I actually can hand you guys a map that was put together for us. This is further to a discussion that your administrative team, engineer, had recently with representatives of the,
I still call it the intermodal. This is the project between Pearl and Richland that involves a route that will run from, y'all help me here, this will run from along South Pearson Road at the intersection of Highway 468, I believe it is, and run all the way to US 49 at a point that is not 100% to be, it's still somewhat to be determined, although I think they pretty much got the route aligned at this point. There's been multiple different potential routes for this roadway that have come to life and then subsequently passed on over many years. And they're still working through some details about exactly what the best route, the most effective and efficient route would be to get the traffic from those points right there in intersection. This map is to primarily is to show you 2 things: the route itself, but also to demonstrate where the respective cities, by way of their municipal boundaries, are located, and also where unincorporated county is located. So I'm gonna have to, I may have to help y'all here just a little bit. City of Pearl has its municipal boundary along Richland Creek. So do you see where Richland Creek is labeled on your map? The City of Pearl boundary meanders along the center line of Richland Creek.
Okay.
Immediately to the south of Richland Creek, where your road is, right up here, immediately to the south, you can see a faint kind of bluish color line.
Mm-hmm.
That's the City of Richland line. And so you will follow, this is the south end of Pearl, right here, all the way to this point. This is Richland, and then it juts in away from the roadway. And so what you're looking at is unincorporated county, and I'll just use my finger right here, gentlemen. Unincorporated county, where this road is in unincorporated county, starts about right there where my finger is on your map and runs to right there. I don't know, quarter mile? I'm not really sure what the, it doesn't tell me the details on what we're looking at here, but it's a short, kind of stubby run of unincorporated
shows you why we were having conversation, that demonstrates why were we having conversations with representatives on the intermodal commission, who represent the city of Richland and the city of Pearl. And so that's why we had the meeting. There's a portion of this roadway is gonna come through unincorporated, currently it's gonna come through unincorporated Rankin County, where the county needs to be, front and center over what's the route gonna be, what's the responsibility, if any, gonna be, that type of thing. So that was the purpose of the conversation. Currently, Rankin County has no representation on the commission. The commission is staffed by the mayor of the city of Pearl. I don't know what Kathy's title is officially in the city of Pearl, but Kathy Bourgeois is a commission member, and the new mayor of the city of Richland, Ms. Burns, is the other commission members. They have 3 members, 2 from Pearl, 1 from Richland. Where the road has made it now, as I understand it, we've got a bridge in place, and the project has basically stopped right where Pearl's corporate line is. And so there's been some questions about what should be the makeup of the commission in light of the fact that the project has now been completed as it relates to the city of Pearl. And so we're still working through some of those issues, but I think the idea here is to have representation from the county on the commission. We haven't officially worked through what those details are. They've received a good bit of federal funding and state funding for this project. My understanding is that there's been very little expense on the part of either city for this project. If any, it's just been to pay for certain professional services. But they're making good headway, and I think they are intending to move forward to try to acquire additional funding from either the state or the feds or both. So this is a project that will look and sound familiar to this board. It's how we have attempted to do the work that we've been doing for our I-20 connector loop. We use every effort that we can to come up with funding that's not county taxpayer dollars if at all possible. And so that's kind of how this project has been set up. But I think they are intending to move this project forward.
So how are they gonna get it across there? They must not be planning on going where this line is, Frozen New Road, because if you look on the map, man, it's heavily parceled out, like small parcels all through there. There's no large tracts of land left in this area. Now, you going up further north, you know, in this area right here there is, but all this is, man, there's heavily, what you see on the map, man, there's parcels galore out through there. This is where they talk about bringing it. According to this, it's like right in this area right here.
I still think they're working on some of that details, aren't they? I mean, it's.
They've got to do the whole title, right of acquisition piece of this. That's a part of the funding itself that they've already secured is for that purpose. They've gotten what we've been told. They have received enough funding to be able to do the pre-construction activities. That's the way you understood it.
That's the way I understood it, yeah.
Right. And so, at this point, what I'm trying to do is to make sure that you guys are aware of this project, that there is a connection to the county because of where the road is planned to go. It's in unincorporated county to some degree, and that there's been a request made for the county to participate at the commission level.
So we need to appoint a board member to that commission?
If that's what this board wants to do, if this board wants to be a participant, then I think that is the next step. But I didn't want to presume that everybody's on the same page about the county's participation. I guess we need to make sure that that's what we want to do. We want to participate. We intend to participate.
Makes sense to me if we appoint anybody, if we see it, because that's his area.
Yeah.
Well, I made the recommendation at the meeting, and I hadn't talked back with Mark to appoint Mark to represent Mark Scarborough,
Oh, yeah.
to represent for the simple fact, he was the mayor of Richland and knows about this project.
So you want both of y'all to serve on it?
No, I'm just gonna let Mark. He's got more knowledge of this project, you know, truthfully, as being the mayor of Richland and, you know, what's been taking place. But I think we need somebody. Huh?
We need a
He's not a
supervisor on
supervisor,
that.
though.
Well, can I not appoint him?
The representative of the county can be virtually anyone, adult, not the convict of a felony.
I just think somebody on our side needs to represent us.
They will be a voting member of that commission. That is important to keep in mind.
Right.
I vote for Sid.
I surely won't see it to be on it. But I don't have a problem with us if they would allow us to have two. Being Mark has probably the most knowledge of this, of anybody that's already on the board. Can we do that?
Can we put two
Yeah.
on?
I wonder if maybe the thing to do is to ask the current commission members. They weren't seeking two county representatives, so I think we would have to circle back and have that conversation. And they may be perfectly fine and open to that. And so we just hadn't talked to them about that and didn't anticipate that we would need to.
And Mark could help out a good bit with the landowners that's all parceled out. I mean,
I'm wondering whether a request to the commission to allow Mr. Scarborough to serve as an ex officio in the name of his office as a non-voting member of that commission. That way, as Sid will have responsibility to participate in the actual authorizations, Mark is available and helpful to Sid to know whether or not this seems to be in keeping with the interests of the city of Richland for sure, and the larger county in that respect. So he could serve without actually being a voting member of the commission.
Okay.
If he's willing, and I don't,
Yeah, I'd be fine.
okay.
if y'all are comfortable with that. The last thing I want to point out to you guys that should be obvious from looking at this is that there's a good bit of undeveloped property that will be served. So I wanted to remind, y'all give me a point of privilege, if you will. We are actively engaged right now in a search for our next executive director at Rankin First, our economic development arm. We are hopeful to be able to make some headway in that direction in coming days. And property like this could be extremely helpful in charting the course of the future of economic development in Rankin County. This property will be significant, in my opinion, as assets available to Rankin County for purposes of economic development. This location is ideal for
What's the
industrial.
zone there now?
I have no idea. My anticipation would be, Brad, that it's mostly ag.
On one side of the road, on the county side, it's residential.
You know, it's got rail access to it, you know.
Well, so do we need to go ahead and just make a motion to add this to the agenda?
It's really up to the board to determine, number one, we want to participate in this project. I think that needs to be established.
I think it's a good project for the county.
I wonder if the board wants to just remain open as it relates to the official participation. Let us have some more conversations before we ask you guys to take action on your appointee to the commission. I said, unless you feel like there's no reason to delay that, my thought would be we probably need to make sure that everybody's comfortable with what we're thinking here.
Right.
So we need to add,
Or we can
something.
hold on.
When we can add, the participation of the county on, this new road.
The intermodal project, yes, sir.
And that's all we do
Yes, sir.
right now.
Yes, sir. The county intends to participate in this project, and will seek representation on the commission. That's as much as I feel like we're ready to do today.
All right.
All right, that'd be my motion to add.
All right, Brad makes that motion.
I'll second.
Sid seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes to add.
Now
Now,
make a motion to approve.
Brad makes a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Sid seconds the motion to approve. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Mr. President, while I've got the floor, if I may, is two items that probably could be discussed in executive, but they're not significant. And so I think we're on safe ground just for me to discuss. These are both litigation matters, but I think we're okay. We're on safe ground for me to discuss those on the record with you guys. One, we had a bridge, and this probably needs to be talked about anyway. We had a bridge guardrail that was damaged by a motorist who allegedly was under the influence of something. And so that individual's negligence resulted in substantial damage to one of our bridge guardrails. It's on Old Highway 471. And so Mr. Hicks asked me to step in and seek recovery of that damage. We got an estimate on the cost of the damage. The bridge actually hasn't been fixed yet, but we got the estimate. And the insurance company was anxious to get this matter resolved. And so we have a check that is ready for us to pick up for the entirety of the cost of the bridge guardrail damage. So I'm asking you guys to authorize me to release the tortfeasor, to accept the money from the carrier, and to get our bridge fixed. So I just need a motion to that effect. Settle and resolve the bridge guardrail case on 0471.
All right. I assume that's in my district.
Yes, sir, I believe it is.
I'll make the motion to approve, or to add it.
Second.
Was it on?
Brad seconds that motion.
It was on our consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion. I make a motion and Brad second motion to add. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes to add it. Now then, do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve. Second.
All right, Brad makes a motion to approve, Scott seconds that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right.
So y'all just approved something that was you've already approved, by the way. So my friends over here just reminded me that was a whole lot of nothing for nothing.
Okay.
So thank y'all for reapproving what you'd already approved. I got a phone call, Brad, you'll be interested.
I appreciate you explaining it, cause I wasn't sure what it was, so.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jay. Jay rescued me from myself. Thank you for that. I got a phone call from an attorney that's representing an outfit called Found Land LLC. They're going to be filing a lawsuit that relates to a significant number of properties in Robin Hood. And this is an effort to have the court to declare certain of what are identified on the original Robin Hood plats as public streets, but were never constructed, to have those declared by the court to not be public streets. I had to help the attorney understand initially that where streets have never been constructed, the county has never accepted anything for public maintenance. That makes sense, right? And so we normally don't approve and accept, we don't do it today, nowadays, we don't accept plats for subdivision developments unless the streets have actually been constructed and meet our standards, and then we allow them to file a plat. And so back in the old days, long ago, when Robin Hood came online, for whatever reason, there were streets that were shown as streets on the plats but never built. Still to this day, it's just woods there. And so there's this confusion. If you go to look at the land records, it looks like there ought to be a street there. There ought to be a public street there. There's just nothing there. And so in an effort to try to clean up some of those old issues that relate to title and possession and how you access properties, there will be an effort to clean up some portion of that plat. I just wanted to let y'all know. That lawyer has asked so he didn't have to go through the expense of actually serving the county, which has to be a defendant. We are a nominal defendant. That means in name only. The law says we have to be notified, and they do that by serving us with process. He's asked me to accept process on behalf of the county.
He's
So I need,
representing the citizens of Rankin, Robin Hood?
no, sir. He is representing Found Land LLC.
Oh, he's trying to get the property.
So I just need you guys to add to the agenda an item, which is to authorize board attorney to accept process on behalf of the county of a title confirmation action. Thank you. It's on the consent. So you've already done it. Thank y'all again for that. I have been effective
Been here
in
for
my
20
attempt
minutes.
to stretch us all the way to 10 a.m. That's what that was all about. And so now we are ready to discuss the need to go into executive. If y'all are, unless you have any additional, yours is in executive. All right. Eli, we got something we got to do? Okay.
All right, I make a motion to discuss the need for executive session.
Second that.
Litigation, economic development, personnel, those are at least those items.
All right, Jay made the motion, Scott seconded the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed.
Motion to go into executive session for all those reasons he stated.
Second.
Jay makes the motion, Scott seconded the motion. All in favor? Aye. That motion passed.